Hey guys, JD here, and today we'll be doing a test on the KSpeed KS3 Ride Plate. Today I'm going to try some river runs, see what I can hit as a top speed. Hey guys, JD here with the new KS3 ProRace Ride Plate from KSpeed. The guys at KSpeed have developed this plate for ultimate offshore and high-speed performance. So if you haven't watched any of my other videos on the KSpeed KS3 Ride Plate, let me quickly bring you up to speed. So this ride plate was designed by KSpeed out of Brisbane, Australia, after much research and based on their years of knowledge from their KS1 and KS2 ride plates. This is designed for 2022 and up Ultra 310 models and 2023 and up Ultra 160 models. This ride plate does an incredible job of getting the bow up and out of the water, which contributes to less drag and ultimately allows you to achieve a higher top speed with the Ultra hull. And I highly recommend you check out my install video on this ride plate as well as my ocean test video. I'm going to put a link up on the screen for the ocean test video. I highly recommend that you watch that in conjunction with this video if you're considering buying one of these ride plates for your Ultra 160 or Ultra 310 jet ski. So this shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody watching this video, but the Kawasaki Ultra 310 will never be the fastest ski on the water. Unless you throw in some chop, that is. But for this video, I got a lot of questions about how much speed did I gain by adding the KSpeed ride plate. So I wanted to do some speed runs in the channel here to give you guys an idea of what kind of top speed you can achieve with the ride plate. So as you can see, the water is not perfectly flat. This was the best conditions I could get for this test. I literally filmed like 8 different runs leading up to this on various rides, and this is probably the flattest, calmest water that I personally get to ride in. So keep in mind also that it's summer in South Florida. Ambient intake temps are nearly 115, 120 degrees. So that's going to affect your performance. So I didn't have ideal conditions, but for this run I do have 1/3 of a tank of fuel, and I did have my normal gear in the ski. I achieved the top speed of 75 miles an hour going downwind. When I turned around and went back the other way, I achieved the top speed of 71 miles an hour. I conducted about 8 different runs, taking the average and resetting my GPS speed indicator between each of those, so the average was about 73 miles an hour for all the runs I did on this day. I was hitting about 8,000 RPM and producing 15 pounds of boost maxed on the boost meter. Here's a great clip of the ski from the side. You could see just how much hull is out of the water at neutral trim with the ride plate. So your key takeaway from my testing should be that the KS3 ProRace Ride Plate does an incredible job of getting your hull up and out of the water even at lower speeds. As evidenced by the last clip, the ride plate does not cause any issues with cavitation or porpoising on the ski. It launches just the way it would with the stock ride plate. However, you get up on plane and get that bow up faster than with the stock plate. I know I said this was supposed to be a river test, but I couldn't help myself, and I had to go out into the ocean, at least for a little bit. So why not provide you with the video? The takeaway from this part of the test should be that look how high the bow is riding as I go out the inlet here. I was fortunate enough to have a side shot of this exact same ride thanks to Ramiro from RM Adventures. So take a look at this clip as well. You'll see how high the bow is riding out of the water. It kind of flies right over a lot of this chop. great question I was asked is, do you lose hookup in the chop with the KS3 Ride Plate? So yes, you will lose a little bit of hookup in the chop because more of your hull is riding out of the water. So it's an inverse relationship, right? The key though is that you're able to maintain a higher forward speed with the ride plate, because normally chop would hit what Kawasaki calls the QSD. That's the Quattro splash deflectors molded into the front of the Ultra hull. Those are designed to reflect chop right out of the way to the sides. With the ride plate, your bow is riding higher, so a lot of that chop will end up hitting the hull from the bottom rather than at the nose. So you lose a little bit of hookup, but because of the higher top speed, you don't really notice it as much. So in my first test video where I did just ocean runs, I had this 2-degree pump wedge installed along with the ride plate. And I did some other, speed runs with the wedge installed, and I wanted to remove it to see what the difference was, right? And what I found was that with the wedge, I almost felt like I had a little bit too much lift at the bow. And so removing this wedge and running just the KS3 ride plate, I feel like the ski is dialed in perfectly. And you can see that the painted surface of the plate has been holding up really well so far. So it'll really be up to you. I know some guys will run the wedge with the plate. I did not notice any loss in speed running the wedge and the pump. The fastest speed I was able to achieve was 75 miles an hour. One of these days, and when it cools off here, I'm gonna go to one of the test canals, and I'll do some more runs and hopefully be able to maybe break that 75. But with a stage 1, like I have on this ski, and running a stock level of boost for the most part, that's really right within what Kspeed advertises. So I'm real happy with that. Again, once you're in the chop, you're really not, if you go 50 or more in the chop, then you're a really impressive rider. I tend to not beat the crap out of the ski or myself. And if you're an ocean rider, if you ride in lake chop, this plate is really gonna be great for you. Special thank you to Kspeed for supporting JD's Waterworld. To purchase Kspeed products or for more information, visit them online at brisbanekawasaki.com.au. If you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing for more exclusive jet ski content, only on JD's Waterworld.